Well, the Halloween season is fully underway, and with it comes all sorts of horror-themed holiday events at theme parks. Speaking of horror, there are quite a few subgenres to it. One particular subgenre of horror is themed to liminal spaces. For those unaware, liminal spaces were originally defined as places of transition, hallways, waiting rooms, stairwells, areas we pass through without much thought. But as the concept evolved online, it's taken on a whole new meaning. Now it's less about physical transitions and more about a certain feeling. A blend of nostalgia, isolation, simplicity, and some existential unease on the top. It's a vibe that many find both comforting and eerie, and there have been quite a few horror games based on it. Today, we're talking about a specific place that's commonly associated with the concept, indoor water parks. So as voted on by the viewers, here are just some of the most liminal-esque indoor water parks you can find out there. Number 10. Surfari Joe's Indoor Wilderness Water Park in Watervliet, Michigan. From the name, you'd expect this place to have lush and elaborate jungle theming, but this park's atmosphere is much simpler than that. To be fair, there is some jungle theming scattered around, like some fake palm trees and the Pygmies Pond water play area. But for the most part, this water park gives off a minimalist, almost industrial vibe. The muted color scheme, combined with the solid colored walls, small windows, and high ceiling, give the park an open, almost isolated feeling. The swirling yellow water slide towards the ceiling appears to clip through the wall, which only adds to the surreal feeling of this park. Once again, it lacks the safari theming you'd expect from the name, but there is one bit of theming that feels practically out of place. This park has two major water slides, the aforementioned yellow slide named Hippo's Hollow, and another mostly outdoor slide named Rhino's Rage. Both of these slides have mock heads of their respective animals above the exits. These small, almost random pieces of safari theming feel out of place against the plain empty walls and minimalist design. It's almost as if the theming was an afterthought and never fully realized. Number 9. Evans Plunge Mineral Springs in Hot Springs, South Dakota. Believe it or not, this park dates all the way back to 1890, making it the oldest tourist attraction in the Black Hills. According to the park's website, the water is provided by a natural thermal spring at the north end of the pool, and over 5,000 gallons flow into the pool every minute. At a warm 87 degrees, this crystal clear water is much warmer than a typical pool. Another big difference with regular pools is that the bottom is entirely gravel, emphasizing how natural it is. What makes this park so liminal is its sheer simplicity. Here, all of the slides share the same large pool, and the whole park is a big, simple room. In addition to a mild family slide, a thrilling drop slide, and that classic kiddie slide down a frog's tongue, there's also the swing rings. Here, guests can attempt to go from one end to the other with upper body strength alone. The water park lacks the vibrant colors and decor typically seen in more elaborate parks, which adds to its liminal quality. The quietness of the space, combined with the simplicity of its features, gives off a nostalgic, almost timeless atmosphere, and it's a good fit for this list. Number 8. The Time Capsule in Coatbridge, Scotland. One look at this park and its elevated water slides may remind you of the Waterworld map from Gary's Mod. Remember that? God, I'm old. Well, that was actually based on a different Scottish water park named Leith Waterworld. But while that park has since closed for good, the Time Capsule is thankfully still in operation. First opening in 1991, this leisure center featured a play zone, an ice skating rink, and an indoor water park. Originally, this park was heavily dinosaur themed, even featuring some animatronics that generated severe, say it with me, submechanophobia. First there was this T-Rex that leaned forwards towards one of the park's water slides. Video footage from the time shows the figure actually moved. Then there was this sea serpent-like fountain that sprayed water onto guests below. This big guy, with its blood-stained teeth, jutted out from a tile-covered surface. And in a liminal horror sense, he fits right in. Sadly, the dinosaur animatronics were removed during a refurbishment, with the park having more of a sci-fi theme nowadays. But that doesn't mean it isn't liminal anymore. In fact, the lack of theming, abundance of tiling, and abstract areas make it even more deserving of being on this list. If I ever get a chance to visit Scotland, I certainly wouldn't mind checking this place out. Number 7. Tikibad Daniel at Wassenaar in the Netherlands. And I have no idea if I pronounced that town's name right. Perhaps the most famous Dutch water park out there, you may remember this place from some of my previous water slide videos. More specifically, this park has become world famous for its defunct flyover water slide. This slide used the siphon effect to literally suck swimmers through a tube with no air and only water inside of it. Many of my viewers consider this to be the most terrifying water slide of all time, but while it's no longer at the park, Tikibad is still worth visiting. This place has a wide variety of water slides, from trapdoor to a winding bowl slide to the terrifying pelican dive. This 23-foot or 7-meter tall slide cuts off part way, sending riders into a free fall of around 10 feet or 3 meters. And the pool you fall into is pretty deep too. In addition to its solid lineup of attractions, this park is located in an abstract room that almost resembles an 80s shopping mall. The tiled surfaces, combined with large open space and elevated walkways, resemble the layout of many older malls. Nostalgic, abstract, and surreal, Tikibad is a must-do for liminal aesthetic enthusiasts. Number 6. Mariner's Cove in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. You know that famous liminal image of the Holiday Inn Express at London Heathrow Airport, aka level 188 of the backrooms? Well, imagine putting a water park in the middle of it. Coincidentally enough, this water park is also at a Holiday Inn. It's not uncommon for hotels to give pool views, but at the Holiday Inn Lethbridge, you can get a room with a view of an indoor water park with high walls, few windows, and a totally liminal feeling. This small water park features a wave pool, a small play structure, and 2 major water slides. With the exception of a mural of sailing ships on the wall, the water park's atmosphere feels largely empty and isolated. If this was built outdoors, it would be nothing out of the ordinary. But the fact that it's indoors and surrounded by hotel room windows gives it a surreal, dreamlike appearance. Seriously, if you've seen a water park like this in your dreams before, feel free to comment below so I know I'm not insane. Number 5. The Golden Palm Resort in Skegness, England. And again, I think I pronounced that right, but I'm not sure. Admittedly, there isn't a lot I can say about this one, since footage of it is incredibly rare. The top half of the room, with its exposed ducts and steel beams, has a distinctly industrial feel to it. In contrast, the lower half boasts playful, abstract colors and shapes, but it still feels pretty open. Only the blue steel beams tie the 2 halves of the room together. There isn't a whole lot to this park, as it consists of 2 water slides, a mini slide for babies, and some rings to run through. But this is only one of the Golden Palm Resort's attractions. There's also mini golf, a soft play area, bowling, and an arcade, so there's plenty for the kids to do overall. Number 4. Aquapark Babylon in Liminal-esque, Czech Republic. Part of the Centrum Babylon Entertainment Center, this water park has a Jules Verne theme, and the main swimming pool is simply beautiful. With its elaborate steampunk aesthetic, this is definitely one of the most underrated indoor pool areas out there. On the other hand, things take a liminal turn where the water slides are. This area is much more colorful and abstract. When I googled the phrase liminal indoor water parks, this was one of the first images to come up. This area of the park has uneven lighting, with some spots being brightly illuminated and other sections being shadowy and dim. The main thing that puts this park on the list is the low ceiling of this area. This, combined with the lack of windows, adds a splash of claustrophobia to an otherwise colorfully themed zone. Believe it or not, the park shared a promotional video of its pools drained without any water. You can easily imagine this being in a first-person survival horror game, running through the pools while being chased by an unknown entity. If you see this place in your nightmares, feel free to come back to this video and comment down below. Number 3. Chaos Indoor Water Park in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. You may already know about the many water parks of the Wisconsin Dells, but this indoor water park is actually about 2 hours away. More specifically, it can be found in the city of Eau Claire in the Metropolis Resort. As the resort name implies, Chaos Water Park has a Metropolis City theme with various murals and scenery. There's a painting of an alligator in a sewer pipe, a water feature with 2 cars and a hydrant, and even the support beams are made to look like skyscrapers. So it's definitely less industrial looking than the other water parks in this list, but it's still pretty surreal and open. Like Aquapark Babylon, this park has rather uneven artificial lighting. This means that while some spots are brightly lit, others are actually pretty dark, as you can see in this promotional video. Also, one thing that's kind of bizarre about this park is the main mural on the walls. This mural appears to portray a city that's about to be decimated by a giant tsunami, all while being attacked by King Kong. Talk about a double header. And for some reason the Space Needle is there too, even though it's a New York City type environment. On another wall, there's a kraken attacking a boat and another city about to be destroyed by a tsunami. Is this themed to Metropolis or 2012? Overall though, it does look like a very enjoyable water park. Number 2, Baoyan Children's Park in Beijing, China. I've never seen an indoor water park like this before. This looks more like something you'd see in a music video than an actual water park. Between the pastel color scheme, the abstract scenery, and the low ceiling, it's clear to see why this park ranked so highly on the list. The park's attractions and scenery were manufactured by Mouton Group, a children's playground manufacturer with over 20 years of experience in the industry. And in that regard, this water park resembles a playground more than a typical water park, and from a design perspective, the shapes, colors, and patterns do an excellent job of stimulating children's imaginations. According to thecoolhunter.net, designers and project directors wanted the park's appearance to be different from other indoor entertainment parks. And to that regard, they certainly achieved this goal. It is perhaps the world's most surreal indoor water park. In addition to the water park, there's also a miniature city area with a role-play town for young children. There are also slides, a large ball pit, and a giant Duplo block-esque play zone. There's even an indoor zoo as well. Definitely a unique children's entertainment area, and one that liminal space enthusiasts will find truly fascinating. Number 1, Erikdalsbadet in Stockholm, Sweden. I really hope I pronounced that right. More specifically, this is the water park located inside the Erikdalsbadet Aquatic Center. First built in 1999, this facility was part of Stockholm's application for the 2004 Olympics. Though the city did lose out to Athens, Greece, this swimming facility soon became extremely popular in the capital city. When I first saw an image of this park, I honestly thought it was AI generated, but believe it or not, this park is 100% real. This bizarre place looks like what would happen if you tried to make a Rubik's Cube themed water park, with colorful cubic decor and the use of plaid mosaic tile designs. With its surreal and abstract appearance, it's obvious why this park got the number 1 spot, but there's a bit of a problem in this case. Despite being open for decades, footage of this park is insanely rare. Most footage I found of this location is of the regular swimming pool and not of the water park. In fact, the only clip of the water park I could find on YouTube is this one, which for some reason has that classic Bandicam logo on it. Even then, it doesn't show off the whole park. Still though, it's nice to have some documentation of it. Sadly, the only other video I could find of this park is this one, which I can't show since it's copyrighted by a local news station. Even worse, the video shows the park in poor condition, and an article from earlier this year says that officials are considering demolition. Apparently, an experimental form of concrete was used in the park's construction, and now it's leaking. Officials added that the park would be extremely expensive to renovate. Personally, I'd love to see this park brought back to its former glory, but if not, hopefully we can get some more documentation of it before it's gone for good. Now it's time for the comment shoutout program. This is where I take 5 random comments from my previous video and read them out. These comments come from my video on my favorite defunct coasters. Kayla Whipple7570 says, Scorpion did freak me out even though I was 24 at the time because of that lap bar. Solo Expectation says, I'm so glad I didn't cower out of riding Dueling Dragons the one time I went to Universal Studios when I was an early teen. I'm a bit of a wimp with roller coasters, but I rode both those and the Incredible Hulk, my first looping coaster, in the same day, one of my most memorable lifelong memories. C.H. Roy Likes Fish says, my favorite defunct coaster I've rode was Volcano at King's Dominion. The first launch was unexpected, and being launched out of a volcano was cool. Definitely one-of-a-kind coaster. Little Britches says, the Dabbing Skeleton, going out with a bang. And the Dragon Boss 109 says, the first time I rode Primeval Whirl was in 2009 when I was 9 years old, and yes, like you, I have very fond memories of Primeval Whirl. If you want to see your words in my next video, leave a comment down below and it may be selected. Please note though that inflammatory or spam comments will not be read. Now before we wrap things up, I want to give a special shout out to my newest Patreon supporters. Verbal shoutouts start at the hyper tier, and if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, I put a link in the description. Here's a special shout out to Hammer D and Jude Miller. Thank you all so much. Your support is crucial to the future of this channel. Thank you all so much, and if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so once again at the link in the description. Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, or you can check out my website at themeparkcrazy.com. And I'm on TikTok. This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.